Now your KMVT Local 11 First Forecast with Crystal Jose.
Well, hopefully you got to soak in a little bit of sunshine, clear skies across the area, and that was pretty much the theme for your Tuesday to kick off the new year, or the new week of the new year. Almanac temperatures top down to low to middle 30s, about seasonal conditions for this time of the year. Temperatures right now 16 degrees at the Magic Valley Regional Airport, Burley and Jerome at 24 and 25 degrees in Haley. But coming up, we are going to be talking about that chance for some showers and how long this weekend version will last. More on that up ahead. First, it's 10 o'clock and your KMVT News starts right now.
Up next, Shoshone police looking for a suspect accused of enticing a child. Will have the latest. And Twin Falls City Council choosing its mayor tonight, but not everyone thinks it should be done that way. Plus, a look at the cleanup of yet another Twin Falls business cleaning up after a run-in with a car.
Live from KMVT, your source for local news. This is Local 11 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm Kelsey Soto. Joe Martin has the night off. Topping our news, a 9-year-old is safe after a man approached her in a Shoshone parking lot. City police tell us a 9-year-old girl told them she was with her friends in front of the Sinclair gas station around 1 p.m. today when a man in his mid to late 30s approached her. She told authorities the man offered her $14 to get into his car, but she screamed and ran away. The girl reported the incident to police later that afternoon around 5, describing the man as Hispanic, 6'2", with a mustache and had faded black hair, possibly driving an SUV. Police expect to have surveillance video of the incident tomorrow.
Tell your children to be safe and make sure that they know the differences between strangers and the suspicious behavior.
If you have any information on this enticement case, contact SERCOM at 208-735-1911. Twin Falls City Council selected a mayor earlier today as Mayor Sean Berger's 2-year term just came to an end. Twin Falls City Council held their first meeting in the new City Hall, and on the agenda, mayor selection. Sean Berger was re-elected for another 2-year term, appointing Nikki Boyd as his vice mayor. Berger says Twin Falls is one of the few cities in Idaho that runs as a council manager form of government, meaning the city has a manager that runs the day-to-day operations rather than the mayor. Residents of the city didn't vote. Instead, council members chose who would take the seat. While only 6 city council members were present, 3 ran for mayor. Suzanne Hawkins and Chris Talkington lost to Berger after council members voted.
A lot of great things that have happened over the last 2 years. Certainly there have been some challenges as well, but I feel like as mayor I've been able to help navigate that, help preserve our community values, help make sure we had robust community discussion of these issues, and keep us moving forward, and I hope to keep that momentum going.
Along with electing the mayor, 3 new city council members were sworn in for their terms. Berger said while city council votes for the mayor, a motion for an elected mayoral race was considered a few years ago but failed. We asked you earlier what you thought of the way Twin Falls chooses a mayor, and now tonight here's the results. With 73% of the vote, majority of you said you'd like to see it change to a popular vote. 16% of you said it doesn't affect me, while 13% of you said you'd like to see it remain the same. A Toyota 4Runner on fire causes a delay in traffic earlier this evening. Twin Falls Fire and Police Department responded to Pole Line Road around 5 p.m. According to fire officials, the vehicle stalled in the middle of the road and went up in smoke. Fire crews were immediately able to extinguish the fire. There were 4 people inside the car, but they all got out as soon as they saw the smoke. No injuries were reported. If you play the lottery in 2018, it could be your lucky year. The Mega Millions and Powerball jackpots combined are almost $800 million. Our Morgan Rump spoke with community members on what winning would mean to them.
Businesses selling Mega Millions and Powerball lottery tickets are busy.
We have a lot of customers that ask us, if we print them the winning ticket.
The Mega Millions drawing is Tuesday night, and the estimated jackpot is $343 million.
I'd make sure that my little daughter Brinley and my 13-year-old Zoe were well off, and then the rest gets split up with family. Sisters, cousins, nephews, mom and dad.
In 2017, the Mega Millions jackpot only got over $200 million twice, making 2018 a year with record beginnings.
It seems like for some reason people don't want to go out and buy lottery tickets and win 10 or 15 or 20 million. But once it hits 300 and above people just go crazy.
The Powerball jackpot is at an estimated $440 million and continues to grow.
It'd be interesting to find out how it would come about if you did win. And, you know, taking care of the people that take care of you, a lot of traveling, probably have to get out of town for quite some time. But you could make the community much stronger with that type of money.
Powerball numbers are drawn Wednesday night. If there is no winner again, the pots roll over and will be redrawn on Friday and Saturday. When purchasing your Powerball or Mega Millions lottery ticket, you can select your own numbers or have the machine generate it for you. But what most people forget to do is sign the back of your ticket. That way, it's officially yours. And always, keep it in a safe place. USA Today released a few helpful tips if you find yourself holding a winning ticket. Among those are to report it to the state, don't solicit that you won, and consult with a legal team as well as an accountant. Morgan Rum, KMVT News.
If you're a winner of either lotteries, you have 180 days from drawing to claim your prize. Yesterday afternoon, a Toyota 4Runner crashed through the front of the Papa Murphy's Pizza in Twin Falls. This is the 5th time in 2 months a car has crashed into a Twin Falls restaurant. On November 2nd, a car drove into the front doors of the McDonald's on the corner of Addison and Washington. Just a few weeks later, the Great Harvest Bread Company on Blue Lakes had their storefront shattered by a vehicle. On December 6th, Perkins Restaurant and Bakery had a car punch a hole in a side wall. And on the 20th of December, an SUV actually drove into the side of Popeyes on Pole Line Road, causing damage to the kitchen. Our Emily Duke went to Papa Murphy's today to see how cleanup is going and to find out what makes crashes like these so unique to repair.
Glass and debris covered the counters Tuesday morning at the Papa Murphy's in Twin Falls.
It's a bad deal. While
3 employees worked on Monday afternoon, an SUV came crashing through the wall.
My gal, she came through our storefront.
The store owner called it a miracle no one got injured.
There's usually people out the door lined up in here, and yesterday, for some reason, it was empty. And so nobody got hurt. That's the most important thing.
He called in Elite Restoration to work on repairs, making this the 4th of these accidents the company has worked on.
Immediately have to get a whole bunch of people involved to get something like this put back together.
Dave Hall said jobs like this present unique problems.
When a vehicle punches through a building, it's not symmetrical, so it tears into wiring, plumbing, sheetrock, studs, your framework.
Which means the restaurants could be closed for a while.
It's our busiest time of the year right now. So yeah, it's a big impact.
Spivey said he needs to provide for his employees and his customers.
You don't want your customers to go anywhere else either, you know?
He told me their goal is to be operational by Friday, but repairs are long from over.
We won't have stuff painted yet, but we'll get the pizzas out the door and work on it at nighttime. So it'll be a 24-hour deal for a while.
Emily Duke, KMVT News.
Around Idaho, just before 3, Idaho State Police investigated a semi versus train injury crash on State Highway 33 at milepost 62 just east of the Sage Port of Entry. Zachary Shirtliff, 21 of Hammer, was driving eastbound on State Highway 33. When he approached milepost 62, the train was already crossing and Shirtliff collided with the rear box car. Shirtliff had minor injuries. He was wearing a seatbelt. State Highway 33 is blocked from about the Sage Port of Entry to milepost 70.75. Idaho State Police was assisted by Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and the Idaho Transportation Department. The crash is under investigation. One eastern Idaho woman has a story of survival. She got into a car accident at 3 a.m. and was stranded in Bonneville County. Michelle Luang spoke with her today.
She walked 4 hours and several miles in freezing cold temperatures in search for help until someone driving by gave her a ride home.
Finally, at one point, I was just yelling out in the canyon, help, 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 hoping somebody would hear me.
Terry Moore got a call from her son that his car broke down outside of Ammon, so she went looking to help him.
And I keep going because, you know, you think, oh, he's going to be around the next corner and I'm going to miss him. So I kept going and finally I thought, okay, I've gone way too far. I've got to turn around.
When she turned around, she got into an accident and ended up in a ditch. She tried to call for help, but there was no cell phone service. So she decided her only hope would be to walk.
So I had a stick in the back of my car that I got out to chase the coyotes away or wolves or anything. And I had a blanket, so I wrapped that around me. I had gloves on and I had an extra pair, so I put the extra pair of gloves on. And I charged my phone enough to get 44% so I could use the flashlight start walking.
Moore walked 4 hours in the cold darkness.
At one time, like there was a big reed, but like one of those big, like grassy things, and I laid down on it. I thought, just let me close my eyes for just a few minutes. I'm so tired. And that's when my hands woke me up. Otherwise, I probably would have succumbed to the weather.
And just when she thought she couldn't keep going,
Just like, I can't go any further. I just can't. And I was just praying to God for help, for him to send somebody to save me. And here came this man, and I passed out in this truck.
she was able to get home safely, but she thinks something needs to be done to prevent this from happening to others.
If they can't put a cell tower in, they need to put emergency phones every couple of miles, every 3 or 4 miles. A person could easily walk that.
In Bonneville County, I'm Michaela Leung.
In regional headlines tonight, Utah Senator Orrin Hatch announced Tuesday that he won't seek re-election this year. The 83-year-old said in a social media message, after much prayer and discussion with family and friends, I've decided to retire at the end of this term. Hatch is the Senate's longest-serving Republican. He set off retirement rumors early last year when he said in an interview that he hoped to see Mitt Romney one day take his place. Romney has not commented on Hatch's announcement. Coming up, ITV starts construction on their Gooding Canal bridges. We'll have more details. And later, the Vet Council looks for drivers for their Veterans Van service.
Let's take a quick look at your travel forecast. Mainly quiet conditions for a good portion of the country. A little bit of lake effect snow up in the Midwest, and also a storm brewing out in the Atlantic. Here in the Pacific Northwest, though, could be seeing some showers develop into the next 7 days. We'll have your forecast coming up next.
Market Update, sponsored by the financial advisors at Waddell & Reed. Now your KMVT Local 11 First Forecast with Crystal Jose.
Unlike us, there are people that like to see the snow here, and so I guess they should be excited maybe for a chance this weekend.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, not looking like a whole lot, but I mean, it helps for everybody who likes to go up to the slopes to go skiing and all those winter sports. But temperatures right now, a little bit on the warmer side of things in Haley compared to everybody else. 25 degrees, but it is feeling like 12 out there. Here at the station, we are picking up on 21 degrees. Out in Burley, temperatures currently at 24, feeling like 16 with that breeze, 16 miles per hour out of the east-northeast. Across southern Idaho, temperatures at 17 degrees in Malta, 21 in Ketchum, 24 in Jerome, and 23 degrees in Jackpot. So staying chilly this evening, but we do have a little bit of breeze, making it feel a little bit on the cooler side, like in the lower to middle teens right now. So wind chills 13 in Jerome, 17 in Haley, still actually feeling a little bit warmer up in the higher elevations because of that high pressure that is causing a weak inversion. So that means those temperatures in the lower elevations is feeling a little bit cooler. So high pressure continuing to stay put over the western portion of the country, and even much of the country, in fact. But we do have a system off to our southwest in the Pacific, and that's going to trek towards the north along the coast and bring in that slight chance for those showers before it moves in towards the later end of the week into the weekend. Tonight, temperatures cooling off to around the middle teens in the Wood River Valley. Clear and cool conditions about where we should be for this time of the year. And temperatures dipping down to around 18 for the Magic Valley. Winds out of the southeast and out of the east for the Minnecaja region with a low of 17 degrees. So it is going to be rather chilly to start off the day. Nothing new there, but we will be warming up to near around 40 degrees. And this is for the Wood River Valley. So a little bit warmer up in the higher elevations and then cooler down in the lower elevations. A little bit of that inversion continuing going into tomorrow. For the Magic Valley, hour by hour, sunrise is just shortly after 8 a.m. and then sets around 5:17 p.m. Temperatures warming up to around 30 degrees by your lunch hour and then 37 by around 4. Winds out of the southeast. Breaking down your futurecast hour by hour across the northwest, continuing to stay on the dry side of things with some passing clouds overhead through the day. We're picking up on some of that shower activity starting to develop out in Northern California, but staying well off to our west. So a lot of that expected to fizzle out as it passes through the mountains. Going to your Thursday morning, starting off dry, we could see a slight chance for some showers, mainly in the higher elevations up in the mountains. So something to watch out for. Not looking like a whole lot of precipitation though out there. For the Wood River Valley, temperature-wise, in the upper 30s. Some of us may even hit the 40-degree mark. Thin clouds overhead, but generally sunny conditions. And for the Western Magic Valley, temperatures in the middle 30s. So just a few degrees cooler. 34 Wendell, 33 in Gooding, 35 in Shoshone. And for Twin Falls County, we're seeing those temperatures middle to upper 30s for the most part. 36 in Twin Falls, 38 Hollister down to Jackpot. Expecting to see temperatures near that 40-degree mark. Winds looking to stay a bit on the breezy side at times, 5 to 15 in the Minnecaja region. Out of the east, seasonal conditions, but sunny as well. 34 Rupert, 37 Albion, and 35 out in Burley. So take a look at your next 7 days. Temperatures warming to near that 40-degree mark, or even exceeding that, just shy of a couple of degrees by Friday. And then rain and snow chances come, especially by Saturday. Looking to clear out late Saturday, and then by Sunday will be dry again. And for the Wood River Valley, temperatures upper 30s to the low 40s. Slight chances for Thursday and Friday for a few showers. Not looking like a whole lot, but best chance comes on a Saturday with a mix of rain and snow. Kelsey?
Thanks, Crystal. Today, the Idaho Transportation Department began construction on 4 Gooding Canal bridges. The construction began from 1500 East Road and 1850 East Road on Highway 26. The 4 bridges are part of a replacement project that will include 17 other bridges throughout eastern Idaho. The bridges were selected because they are over 50 years old. The work is expected to be completed sometime in April. Many veterans in the Magic Valley rely on the DAV van, a free service that provides transportation to the Boise Veterans Medical Center. The van transports veterans from Rupert, Burley to Wendell and all around the Magic Valley. The Twin Falls County veterans are looking for volunteers, like Bob Jackson, who says it can cause a problem for veterans if they lose drivers unexpectedly.
But if you lose a driver on a particular day, and we don't have someone to take that driver's place, then the veterans themselves would have to call the Boise VA and either cancel their appointments for that day or reschedule them for some other time in the week. And that's really not fair to them if they have medical issues that need to be tended to right away.
If you want to volunteer as a driver, go ahead and call the Twin Falls Veterans Office at 208-734-9091. Up next, North Korea and South Korea may meet to talk about the upcoming Winter Olympics. But before we go, time now for our fishing game forecast. As you can see, the best times to go fishing based on our area based on the lunar cycle, 2:20 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon.
You're watching KMVT Local 11 News with Kelsey Soto.
North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un used a New Year's Day message to warn America he now has a nuclear button on his office desk. But he also offered to send a North Korean delegation to the upcoming Winter Olympics. And Tuesday, South Korea's government says it's willing to talk about the offer. Weijia Zhang has more details from the White House.
South Korea says it is willing to meet for talks with North Korea 1 week from today. In a nationally televised address, South Korea's unification minister proposed the two sides meet in the shared border town of Panmunjom to talk about Olympic cooperation and how to improve overall ties. The move comes after North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un said Monday that he is willing to send a delegation to the Winter Olympics. South Korea is hosting the Olympics beginning in February. President Trump has long insisted that talks with North Korea should only happen if the country is willing to give up its nuclear program, something that Kim Jong-un says won't happen. Some analysts view Kim's offer as a way for the North to drive a wedge between the U.S. and South Korea. The U.S. wants to pressure North Korea to give up its weapons program through UN sanctions and oil embargoes.
We hear reports that North Korea might be preparing for another missile test. I hope that does not happen. But if it does, we must bring even more measures to bear on the North Korean regime.
The president tweeted this morning sanctions and other pressures are beginning to have a big impact on North Korea. Rocket Man now wants to talk to South Korea for the first time. Perhaps that is good news, perhaps not. We will see. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, the White House.
As Minnesota Senator Al Franken serves his last day in the rotunda, competition for his job heats up. Former Representative Michelle Bachmann says she is considering running for his seat later this year. Bachmann gained national attention in 2012 when she sought the Republican nomination in the presidential election. Minnesota residents will cast ballots for Franken's Senate seat in a special election later this year. Time now for a look at sports. You know, winter break did not keep the sports away. Still lots going on.
Yeah, lots going on. Of course, we always have those college bowl games, which were very entertaining. But tonight we're going to talk about a true rodeo legend and the life he lived well. Coming up after the break.
And now, Brittany Cooper with KMVT Local 11 Sports.
Many will remember the life of a true legend in the rodeo scene. Bob A. Robinson passed away at St. Luke's Magic Valley last month at the age of 84. The Rockland Valley native played football for the University of Idaho before the draft sent him to Korea. Between 1955 and 57, Robinson won 54 belt buckles and 11 saddles as an amateur. In late 57, he entered the Rodeo Cowboy Association. He won many awards, too many to name here, but his greatest year happened to be in 1960 when he finished as runner-up to the all-around World Championship Cowboy and won World Champions Steer Wrestling. From 82 to 86, he served as the executive director of rodeo administration for the PRCA. Robinson helped move the NFR from Oklahoma City to Las Vegas, and 11 years ago was inducted into the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. Hundreds are expected to attend a celebration of life from 1 to 4 on Thursday at the Hagerman American Legion Hall. Memorial donations may be made out to the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund. Century Girls Basketball opened with a huge home win over Twin Falls and have yet to lose to a 4A opponent. But the Lady Diamondbacks have fallen on a downward spiral, with the last 4 games being losses to 5A teams. The Bruins are trying to bounce back from a loss during the Women's Holiday Tournament. Century up in the third quarter, Bruins trying to cut in the deficit. Senior Morgan Haar back in the lineup since December 6th following an injury. Her three-pointer makes it a 6-point game, 9 points on the evening for her. This time, she decides to go inside to freshman Paige Beam, and Beam going up hard to the bucket. Bruins keeping pace. It's now a 7-point game now as the third dwindles down. Beam wide open at the top of the key, takes off, count the bucket and the foul. She had 10. On the other end, Diamondbacks up 5. Ashton Adamson looking for an open body, gives it off to Lexi Bull, and the sophomore gets the lucky roll. 12 on the night for her. Century up 7 with a minute or so left in the quarter, but no one could stop Kylie Baumert. Her game-high 17 points gives Twin Falls the lift it needs as the Bruins get the best of its future opponent with a narrow 51-48 win. Twin Falls now heads to Jerome on Thursday. The wait is over. CSI men's basketball returns home this weekend to start up conference play. The Golden Eagles welcome in Snow College on Saturday. The Badgers are off to an 11-5 start compared to CSI's overall mark of 16-2. Now the fellas just returned from the Fiesta Bowl shootout in Arizona, where they took third place. Future Pitt Panther Danny Kingsby, in his video, earned all tournament honors. He scored 13 points in the victory over Mesa, 12 against San Bernardino, as well as 12 in the loss to South Plains. Kingsby's averaging 13.3 points per game on the season, which marks the 4th highest on the team. Well, I know college basketball fans in the Treasure Valley, as well as the rest of Idaho, are counting their blessings that Chandler Hutchison decided to return for his senior year. The Boise State star earned his 2nd Mountain West Conference Player of the Week honors after scoring a total of 56 points and 11 rebounds in wins over Colorado State and UNLV. Now against the Rebels, he had a season-high 32 points and 12 boards. His third 30-point game was extremely efficient. He went 13 of 18 from the field, including a perfect 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. Now BSU men's basketball is off to a 12-2 overall start with a 2-0 mark in Mountain West play. The Broncos as a team host New Mexico tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Going up north, Idaho junior Michaela Ferenz picking up the first Ready Nutrition Big Sky Player of the Week honor for 2018. The Walla Walla, Washington native averaged 26 points in 2 games. We'll be right back after this.
The community came together to help rescue several elk that fell through the ice last week. This video is courtesy of Dusty Jones from Alpine, Wyoming. It's the south end of the Palisades River near the Idaho-Wyoming border. He says he was headed to work when he saw there were about 10 elk in the water, so he jumped in with some other Good Samaritans and a chainsaw and a stick and cut a path for the elk about 8 to 10 feet deep. They lassoed them, got a couple of calves out first. Now this all took about 40 minutes. Lucky little elk. Ringing in the new year, they can go about their day.
Not that much time passed. That was actually pretty efficient.
I know.
That rescue
Teamwork.
effort.
That's what we can do. That'll do it for News at 10. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.